For all intents and purposes, this weekend here at Portland International Raceway starts the second half of the season. For drivers in USF2000, two big races here this weekend before we head to Markham for that street race just next weekend. Again, getting things underway here for USF2000, and indeed a fantastic field of drivers set to go here. We may find ourselves with a brand new winner. Hello, race fans. My name's Rob Howden. Welcome to PIR, the Pacific Northwest, this iconic racetrack. Joining me right now, the driver will roll off from the pole position today in USF2000, P1 in qualifying, Oliver Weldon. How happy are you right now getting that P1 done, knowing what turn one is like here?
Yeah, turn one's definitely pretty tricky at the starts here. I know from last year there was a lot of crashes, a bit of chaos, but I think 2000 will be good. It'll be good. So really looking forward to the start. Had a bit of an issue in the first practice today, but this really boosted my confidence, and I'm looking forward to the race.
Let's talk about the car and the track itself. During that session, were you pretty happy with the way the car was? Was there more in it, or really did you just extract everything out of it?
I think there was definitely a little bit more in my lap time. I mean, there's always more, but the car felt pretty dialed, to be honest. So big thanks to Dan Mitchell, Jacob Loomis, David Easter, and my mechanic Jim Locke. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Not the first time this year you started on the pole position, 3 of them at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. You got 3 podiums there, but you didn't get that race win. Is there pressure for that first race win, or do you know it's coming?
I definitely know it's coming, so I'm just not really focused on that. I'm just focused on putting every lap together and finishing every lap of that race. I definitely had a bit of an unlucky weekend at Mid-Ohio, so this is definitely really good for me to just jump back at the top.
Going into turn one, are there plans for turn one, or is the festival chicane a place you just kind of let happen and see what you can do?
I think farther back, that's definitely a situation, but I think when you start from pole, and you're kind of controlling everything, so as long as I just break where I can, I think I'll be good and hopefully pull away.
It's been fun watching Oliver Weldon get things rolling here for VRD Racing. USF Juniors last year, USF2000 this year. That first win may come today, and it's going to start from the pole position because this is a place, this track here in Portland, where you start up front, you often end up front. After this break, we'll come back. I'll give you the full USF2000 driver lineup.
You can feel confident Continental is the smart choice in tires.
Can they handle extremes?
Yep. Tested from the Texas desert to near the Arctic Circle.
Really?
Really.
Anything for the guy who finds that one pothole?
Yeah. Road hazard coverage has your back.
For real?
Absolutely.
Were they made by, like, a bajillion engineers?
Well, closer to 100. Continental. Welcome to the smart choice in tires.
We test every vehicle for driving safety, performance, and efficiency. But we also believe a vehicle should be fun. So we set out to test the all-new Prelude for joy, excitement, and exhilaration. And it's clear, it's not just the way our vehicles move, but the way they make you feel that makes them a Honda. The Prelude Hybrid, engineered for fun.
One of the key aspects with this particular racetrack, Portland International Raceway, when it comes to the USF Pro Championships presented by Continental Tires, it is location out here on the West Coast, up at the Pacific Northwest. Series teams not allowed to trek out here to test. So yesterday's pair of 45-minute sessions for both USF 2000 and USF Pro 2000 so crucial, especially for drivers who are rookies, brand new to the series. Those drivers getting their opportunities first to get on this racetrack and pair what they learned. They've obviously been in the sim, racing on iRacing, getting a feel for this racetrack, but you always have to pair the sim life, the sim track, to real-life competition where you're actually out there feeling things, and the way the track has maybe changed a little bit based on what you'll see on iRacing. So crucial yesterday, of course, folks, as we know, those test sessions. We've been on track today as well. Practice session earlier today, qualifying set and done. Time for the first race for USF 2000. Hello, race fans. Once again, my name is Rob Howden. Excited to be up here at PIR, and we have 21 drivers who are ready to roll off here for the first of 2 races for USF 2000. In years past, again, this was the season finale. We crowned our champions in a Sunday or a Monday championship celebration. Not so this year. Lots of racing still to get done. A couple of races here in Portland, 2 races on the streets of Markham, Ontario, in replacement for the Toronto event. And then, of course, the finale this year, a standalone race. We'll have the Skip Barber Racing Series with us as well. Road America, the end of September, where we'll crown this year's champion and award over $1.5 million in prizes and scholarships. 21 drivers, as I said, getting set to go to roll out here for this race here today. Drivers will pull out here momentarily to get things rolling. Let's have a look at the grid right now. We'll start at the tail of the field, starting in 21st position. For VRD Racing will be the rookie driver, Jack Morhard. Morhard in the number 78 machine out of Boca Raton, Florida. We'll move our way up to row number 10, starting on the outside. In fact, it's an all J. Howard driver development powered by ECR. Row 10, Kaylee Countryman, the young lady also starring in the F1 Academy program. Her first year here in USF 2000. Countryman out of Arizona in the number 5, starting 20th. She'll start alongside Callahan Peter in the number 9 out of Fishers, Indiana. Peter, a rookie, starting in the 19th position. Up now to row number 9 on the outside from South Africa. It is the number 67 of Vian Boshoff, the single car effort for PFH Racing. Boshoff starting in the 18th position. Alongside him at O'Fallon, Missouri, number 91 Exclusive Autosports. Connor Aspley started the season in USF Juniors, electing to make the jump up into USF 2000 after a strong run at Road America. He'll look to get as much seat time as possible for a full campaign in 2027. Up to row number 8, starting on the outside in the number 7 from Sao Paulo, Brazil. Racing for J. Howard Driver Development, powered by ECR. That is Naeem Saleh, the rookie in the number 7, starting 16th. Alongside him, the number 94 out of Santa Fe, New Mexico, Ayrton Khan for Exclusive Autosport. In the number 94, Ayrton Khan rolling in here, sitting right now in 8th spot in the points standings. Up another row here, we'll move our way into row number 7 on the outside. These two drivers battled out last year in the F1600 Championship Series, on the outside for NV Motorsports. In the number 46 out of Holly Springs, North Carolina, that is the driver of the 46, Wesley Gundler for NV Motorsports. Inside, it's Ayrton Khan's brother, Gabriel Khan, in the number 93 for Exclusive Autosports, starting in the 13th. Row number 6 now, we'll go to the outside. Driver making his debut here in USF 2000, a full-time driver in USF Juniors out of England for J. Howard Driver Development. Starting 12th, the number 8 is Max Cuthbert. Alongside him, the driver very close to locking down the USF Juniors Championship and that scholarship that will move him up one level into USF 2000 in 2027. From Poland for Olivia Racing, it's Karol Paszewicz in the number 25. Up into the top 10 now, row number 5 on the outside. Great starting spot for Thomas Nordquist, the driver of the D-Force Racing, number 17. He'll start 10th alongside Canadian Lucas Nanji, the rookie for Pabst Racing, in the number 24. Up now to row number 4 on the outside. 3 times a winner on the season so far. Watch for him to work his way forward. It's an all-exclusive Autosport row 4. From Markham, Ontario, Canada, it is Anthony Martella, the 92, starting on the outside. And from Illinois, his teammate Evan Cooley, the Freedom 75 winner from this year in the number 90, starting in 7th spot. Up now to row number 3 on the outside, a winner in USF Juniors last year, the VRD Racing pilot out of Florida. By way of Brazil, the rookie João Vergara in the number 3, starting 6th. And on the inside, starting P5, your point leader coming into the weekend. He has a 19-point lead over Brad Majman. He's only been off the podium 3 times this year. He has 3 wins as well. Again, the point leader out of Bogota, Colombia, D-Force Racing, Sebastian Garzon in the number 12, set to go from P5. Row number 2, the momentum here is rolling for this driver out of Redondo Beach, California. That is Ryan Janetta for VRD Racing, coming off his first career podium at Mid-Ohio in the 44. He'll start 4th spot alongside Eddie Beswick. A couple of wins as the Australian driver for Pabst Racing. Rolls in here P3 in the points. He's got a lot of work to get up there. He's 57 points back, but wins here at Portland could help. Eddie Beswick going to start in the 3rd position. 21 drivers in the field, 2 on the front row. Off pole, the driver right now who's got the biggest momentum here. He has had a fantastic run in the last 6 races. Actually, you go back 7. He has got nothing but top 5s, 4 or 5 podiums in the last 6 or 7 races. In fact, only 1 race all year long outside the top 5, and that was a 15th place finish in race number 3. Brad Majman out of Australia in the number 22 with tons of momentum as he gets ready to fight his way to try to win a championship at Road America in September. On the pole, though, his 4th pole pole, looking for that first win. He qualified on pole for all 3 races at Indianapolis on the road course. Here, pole as well for Portland, trying to get that first race win for VRD Racing, the number 98 out of St. Petersburg, Florida. It's Oliver Weldon. Weldon on the pole alongside Majman. Beswick and Ginetta, row number 2. Garzone and Vergara, row 3. Cooley and Martella, row 4. Nanji and Nordquist, row 5. Pashevich and Cuthbert, the two USF Juniors drivers, on row 6. Kahn and Gudler, row 7. Kahn and Soleil, row 8. Astley and Bossoff, row 9. Peter and Countryman, row 10. And Morhart on row 11. So there you have it, folks. We will have 2 pace laps here. Normally in USF2000, USF Pro 2000, our whole program, just a single pace lap. We'll send them out and go green first time around. But with this track, of course, Indy Next has been out there. IndyCar's been out there. It's a shorter lap around. We're going to give these drivers an opportunity for 2 pace laps before we go green flag racing. And indeed, 25 laps around this racetrack to get things going here. Also, the beauty of this, we do have a 40-minute time window as well. One of the things about our program, a longer time window to get all 25 of those laps in if possible. Again, a great field of drivers. Garzone, the point leader, coming in. It's been an unbelievable year for him. No doubt about that. 4, 5, 6 podiums to start, 8 in total. Again, everything but the first round at Mid-Ohio. He's finished in the top 5. The consistency that we've seen over the years, come away with a championship. When it comes to race wins, Sebastian Garzone with 3, Anthony Martella with 3, Majman and Beswick with 2, Cooley with 1. 5 winners on the season. The 2 drivers knocking on the door, the VRD pilots, Oliver Weldon and Ryan Ginetta. Will they be able to come through for a win? Maybe even Joao Vergara from P6. One of the things about this weekend, and you all know this that are watching online and have watched here or come here every year, turn 1 is always chaotic. The 1, 2, 3 combination, the festival chicane. We have, again, rules in place, hopefully to get everybody to the right side of the turn 2 curbing and clean and green through. If you can't make it, you must get through the double chicanes, the escape route. You've got to get yourself through the chicanes. You can see them there. Through, left, right, right, left to get back out on the straightaway here. You have to go through there. If you don't, it's a drive-through penalty. So you have to get through. Even if you're pushed off, there's a possibility if you've got nowhere to go. But race control will be watching it. If you simply just bail out, you have to go through those chicanes, or it's a drive-through penalty. And that will change things for some racers for sure. This corner, as we see, turn number 1, it'll be chaotic at the start, but when they go racing, just like you saw with the NTT IndyCar Series drivers, they will be butting up against the inside there, almost touching the wall in the Armco as they'll climb over top of the curbing there. That curb not being used. It's more of a launching ramp to a certain extent. They'll straddle that, come right on through. And, of course, to get those fastest laps, you have to ride on the ragged edge. Oliver Weldon ready to do that. I had a chance to talk to him in the pre-race show. He's looking for that first win. Started on the pole, as we know. All 3 races at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And it's probably the worst place to start on the pole position. That big, long run coming out of the final corner all the way down into the wide entry into the right-hander at the end of the straightaway there on the GP weekend. So tough. You can easily get drafted all the way down into that corner. He did come away with 3 podium finishes in Indy, but he wants that first win. Every young driver in this program looking for that first victory to put it on the CV so that you know that you obviously are going to be able to get that momentum moving forward. 30 seconds, folks. We're going to fire things up. The drivers on pit lane all getting set to go. 21 in total here. Everybody on the Tadish chassis, Continental tires, and Elite engines. These 2-liter inline-4 engines, 200 horsepower. Again, the spec machinery that has launched so many young drivers' careers. You think back to the Kyle Kirkwoods, the Renus VKs, who just showed extremely well in IndyCar practice. They have won here before. That's some of the things we need to look at. This is the guys that have had success here before in this particular program at this racetrack. David Malukas won here as well. Louis Foster won here. Nikita Johnson, Max Garcia. All these drivers who have won here before. So, again, it's a racetrack that demands precision. As we know, you got to really ride the ragged edge. And we'll, again, hold our breath for that run down into turn number 1. We've had some great years where we've had some very clean runs through turn number 1 and 2. There have been other years, like last year, where maybe not quite so lucky. The driver's a little bit further back, getting over-anxious. Any driver I've told, if you start outside the top 10, man, just check up a little bit. Just let the front 5 rows hammer themselves through the corner, and you're going to come away with a couple spots. You're going to get gifted a bunch of spots. So just make sure you understand what's happening. Keep calm. stay focused, and make sure you give room to the guys around you. If you take care of each other, you're going to be clean and green through 1, 2, and 3. So drivers out onto the racetrack, a number of making their first ever USF2000 starts. We talked about USF Juniors point leader Karel Pashevich for Olivia Racing. Max Cuthbert for Jay Howard Driver Development, the Englishman with Janetta Junior experience running in the USF Juniors program, 11th place in points there. Really starting to come on midway through the season here. I wouldn't be surprised to see him top 5, even onto the podium at Road America for the finale. Cuthbert really having a lot of momentum now, and he's going to learn a lot from this weekend here at Portland. 2 parade laps for the drivers here behind our Honda Civic Type R pace car, the most powerful Honda production vehicle ever sold in the U.S. Turbocharged 2-liter 4-cylinder engine producing an incredible 315 horsepower. We'll need all of it to stay in front of our drivers here in these fantastic USF2000 race cars. Take the opportunity to say hello to those of you who are tuning in on the YouTube channel or on the mobile app. Great to have you with us. Live timing available there as well. You can watch on USF2000.com too if you'd like. The live timing is there, live broadcast. But those of you here, I know the chat will be pretty vibrant, I would expect. As we know, an international field, Brazil, Australia, England, Colombia, drivers from Canada, as we know. South Africa as well with Vian Boshoff. 11 different countries represented across the 3 series of our program here this year. Truly an international field with our scholarship program, and the high-quality racing attracts drivers from all over the world year in and year out. Good opportunity to get that one lap around. Normally we go green flag here, but instead we're going to give the drivers an opportunity to keep some heat building into these Continental tires. When they do finally get themselves out onto the back straightaway, that's where they're going to be instructed to pair up. Your tire warming has to stop as you come out of turn number 8. Get yourself 2x2. And then we'll look to go green flag racing. 25 laps, 40-minute time window. And it's all going to come down to these drivers giving each other room, some respect coming through turn number 1, 2, and 3. We did not see that respect at Mid-Ohio about a month ago when we had a ton of chaos throughout the races there. Ideally, we'll see these guys maybe settle in a little bit here. Up front, talk about the drivers that are there. VRD Racing's got a couple of drivers on the first 2 rows, as does Pabst Racing. VRD, in fact, first, 4th, and 6th. Good stuff for VRD up front. Pabst Racing strong as well. D-Force with Garzone. And as well, Thomas Nordquist. Strong start for Nordquist there. 10th. He comes in here 15th in points. And here we go. Out of turn number 8, as I had said, drivers will start pairing up. We want to get the tail of that field up and in position. No stragglers. As they come out of turn number 12, they'll get set to punch off. And again, we await a run down into the Festival Chicane. The signature corner here at Portland International Raceway. Weldon on the inside. Majman on the outside. Weldon coming into the weekend 10th place in points, having missed the opening rounds, not old enough to race. Just after St. Petersburg turning 15, able to be eligible to run here. He's 10th in points still, missing those first 2 races. But Majman's looking at a potential championship, battling out with Sebastian Garzone. Field set. Green flag is flying, folks. We are underway, and we are racing. Green, green, green in Portland. Down in, they'll field out 3, 4 wide. People giving each other room so far. A couple of drivers coming through. They're going to have to go all the way over. Doing a good job so far. One driver may have went around further back. You see a couple of drivers using the escape route as they were told to. 2 drivers together coming through the corner. Not too bad, but once again, drivers locking wheels, not giving each other enough room. And that's what they said. If you were on the inside coming into turn number 1 and you've got somebody on the inside of you, you have to get to driver's right. And that's, again, people that go in. If you try to go straight from the apex of 1 to the apex of 2, somebody's alongside you, you have to give room. You can't just go from apex to apex. And that's, I think, what we had. We saw a couple of drivers get pushed to the side and have to bail out. Let's try to pick up the leaders. They come back around. That's Weldon. They're going to see him coming down into 9. Is there potential? I thought I was looking at maybe wing damage for Weldon. No, it looks good up front. So he was able to get clean and green through. So we'll see what happens when they come back around. Again, we do have, as we said, yellow flag with that incident. A couple of drivers collected there. One was spun around, was able to continue. A couple of the drivers up front, the Pabst cars, were able to get over to the chicane, which if if you get pushed off, you have to go to the second chicane. We are going to get some replays here, folks, so we're going to have a look at this here. Again, we'll pick this up. Here's a look. Coming across the bow. Not sure what happened there with the first one of the. Well, Weldon's clean and green through. Like, there's a couple drivers coming through. Garzone being one of them. One of the Paps cars as well. Look at the contact further up here. A couple guys getting collected in the back. I wasn't looking that far back. Oh, the other drivers coming through. Naeem Saleh coming through. The 5 as well as Kaylee Countryman coming through. There's Jack Morhart. So the drivers further back wisely taking the escape route. Here's a better shot of it. There's the 23 coming through. Good job there for Eddie Beswick getting to the inside. That was Majman. There's the 2 drivers getting connected in the back. I think it's maybe Nordquist and potentially Callahan Peter. Look at these drivers, more contact there. That's one of the drivers coming to the inside. We're going to get a couple more looks at this, but one of the exclusive cars got hammered in the back as well. One of the cons, someone diving to the inside there. And again, it's all about giving room. Can't get to the inside of those corners. You have to give room. And if you're further back, again, checking up is the best idea. Just get through cleanly. So we'll have another look at this here. We're going to get some opportunities here as we're working our way around. So we'll have a look here right now. Again, the opening corner. And there's Weldon. Beswick second, Cooley third, Janetta fourth. Okay, here's the shot again. I want to say maybe some contact between Majman and... I'm going to look further back, though. One of the drivers getting looped around. Someone got into the back of the 17 of Thomas Nordquist, looping him around. Look at everybody, though, taking the escape routes. Good job for those drivers there. That's Majman. Here's this other shot. So watch further back. Who gets looped or who gets too deep? Nordquist loses the rear a little bit. And there's the big shot there. Callahan Peter driving up over the back of the 91 of Connor Aspley coming into that corner. And again, I mentioned about it at the start. If you're further back, if you're starting near the tail of the field, just check up. There's no sense at all in coming through hot, getting in deep. The key there, if you're, again, the last 2-3 rows, just check up, wait for it to happen, and come through cleanly. You're easily going to pick up 4, 5, 6 spots. So a couple of drivers involved, Nordquist, Gabriel Kahn, Connor Aspley, and Callahan Peter all involved in that one. Wesley Gundler got through and had to come all the way around, so he was able to kind of avoid it. Naeem Saleh, Kaylee Countryman, and Jack Morhart all electing to take the escape route as things started to go awry in front of them. So wise move for those 3 drivers. They headed to the chicanes and were able to slide their way through. So Weldon is your leader. Beswick second. Evan Cooley able to jump up from 7th into 3rd. He was able to get through and around the corner. Ryan Janetta 4th spot. Joao Vergara in 5th. Anthony Martello started 8th. He goes up to 6th. Lucas Nanji 7th. Pashevich started 11th. Carroll, he's +3 up to 8. Ayrton Kahn ends up in 9th. And Brad Majman, who started on the outside of the front row, ended up having to miss the inside. Didn't get all the way back to the right side of the racetrack. So he missed the turn 2 apex. Knowing that he was deep through, came all the way over to the second chicane, which is allowable, I believe. Race control, and what we said, the driver's been here, race director said, listen, if you don't go through both chicanes, you don't come back and go through both, then you're going to be at essentially the will of race control. They're going to have a look, and they're going to decide whether or not you made the right call. And it looks to be pretty close. I think that Majman's fine. Like, he just wasn't able to make the corner and immediately turn left to come over. So I think he did the best he could to get around. So he ends up still in that 10th position. But, yeah, we're under yellow. For the most part, the leaders got through pretty cleanly. Some of the chaos mid-pack, and then the drivers further back coming in super deep. Someone into the back. I'm not sure if somebody got into the back of Nordquist or if they just kind of lost the rear of the car. transitioning in like that to see the car kind of start to rotate, you wonder whether somebody probably got into the rear attenuator and just kind of looped them around. It doesn't take much to get in there with a low wing, get into the driver in front, and that wing will lift up on the attenuator and obviously take the wheels off the ground. And at that point, you're rolling around. That kind of looked what happened. But then as people started to check up, then we saw Callahan Peter get deep and up over top of Connor Aspley. So, wow. Tough one for sure to get things underway there. Weldon, Beswick, Cooley, Janetta, and Vergara, top 5. Martella 6th, Dangy 7th, Pachowicz, Kahn, and Majman, top 10. Garzone goes back into 11th. Remember, he had to come on. He and Majman were the drivers who bailed out at turn 2 and came straight across to the chicane, the penalty chicane. So, crazy start for sure. We're likely going to be able to go green flag racing here momentarily. Clock is winding down as we know. 25 laps but 40 minutes. The AMR safety crew getting things cleaned up there in turn number 1 and 2. Otherwise, Oliver Weldon dodging the first bullet, getting through, and leads here for lap number 3. One of the things that we've got going on here this year and just very recently put it together, which is super cool, is that we have a new partnership with Ghost Lap. If you didn't see the news last week, the USF Pro Championships announced that Ghost Lap is now the unofficial partner of the series. Ghost Lap is the official driver development tool of all levels of the USF Pro Championship. This program, Ghost Lap, essentially helps drivers, coaches, teams easily see where they're losing lap time. It's a visual overlay that shows drivers the small details that matter on the racetrack, from braking to corner entry. Drivers get to see all the critical differences in their racing lines. Essentially, the fastest driver, they're able to overlay themselves with the Ghost car. It's something that we're going to be talking about. Ghost Lap also sponsoring a new award. Fastest race lap of the weekend gets free credit to use Ghost Lap on a future race weekend. So we'll have to wait till the end of tomorrow to find out who comes away with the outright fastest race lap to get that Ghost Lap award. But yeah, we'll talk more about that throughout the season. Great new driver development program that these young drivers are going to be able to activate. All right, so here we go. We're going to go green flag racing potentially this time by, maybe not. Coming to 1 to go, I'm told. All right, so 1 lap to go when we come back around. So we're going to circulate around a little bit here. Max Cuthbert, who started in the 12th spot, remains on the lead lap. I think they may have brought him into pit lane and back out, so he's rolling there still. He's going to try to catch up to the tail of the field. Yeah, we got AMR vehicles still on the racetrack here, trying to get these cars back to pit lane. So field again behind our Honda Civic Type R pace car. There goes that safety truck off driver's left, right coming through turn number 11. 4 laps in the book. We'll put 5 in when they come back around. By the time we go green, we'll have 6 laps in. So 19 laps remaining. Did not get the start we were hoping for in USF 2000. Front half of the grid, I think, understood the assignment, was able to get through. Even those that weren't able to get to the right side of turn 2 did take the escape route. You watched Bossoff, Soleil, Countryman, and Morehart wisely head to the left side of the racetrack and get through there when the track kind of got blocked in front of them. They were on the outside. Just head through there and come out cleanly, and they've been repaid with 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th, respectively. Oliver Weldon's leading a couple laps here under the yellow. Eddie Beswick right behind him. Beswick looking for his 3rd win of the year. Remember, I talked about it earlier on. He's significantly back in the points. Only 19 points between Garzone and Majman up front, but Beswick back by a lot more, 57 points. So he's going to try to keep clawing his way ahead of Sebastian Garzone, who moved back into 11th. Both he and Majman, 10th and 11th, respectively. Watch for those drivers to come barreling through the field. That's the black and white Pabst number 22 and the blue and white D-Force of Sebastian Garzone. Both those drivers are going to be tearing it up, trying to come back to the front. They've got the pace for sure. 1st and 2nd in points. Weldon could probably get a pretty big jump as well. He's at 130 points. If he was able to come away with a victory here, that could potentially knock him up into the top, maybe 8 or 9. If he has a big weekend here, he could keep moving forward. Our Honda Civic Type R pace car going to head to pit lane, I believe, coming through. Indeed, it tucks to the right side of the racetrack. Back in the hands of Oliver Weldon. We're going racing, folks. Green flag flying back underway. And again, this will be the attack here. As he stayed to the outside, as he dived to the bottom of the racetrack. Watch for Beswick to make a move to the bottom. He does come across to the inside. Here comes the over-under for Beswick. Not quite enough. Great job there for Weldon. Field coming through. One driver missed. That's Pashevich. I don't think Pashevich may have missed it. He did not come back over. So they're going to have a look at Pashevich there. Look at this battle here. Oh, my goodness. To the inside comes Beswick. Not quite enough for the big outside run. They are fighting wheel to wheel up front now. And it's Evan Cooley in that third spot, ready to pick up the pieces. Further back, the battle's continuing on. Weldon going to cover the bottom of the racetrack there, trying to defend to the inside shot. Side by side coming through is Pashevich trying to battle it out there. I believe that may be... Oh, another driver dropping. One of the Jay Howard cars Pashevich fighting with. Remember, he missed coming through turn number 2. Big run here from Garzone. Garzone's going to work here. That's on Majman. To the inside of turn number 10. Book it. He's through. Great pass, but can he hold on to it? He does. What a pass there for Garzone. Great run out of turn 8. Put it to the bottom of turn number 10 at the end of the back straightaway. And Majman slips back a spot. Across the line, we'll press the reset button. Beswick has taken over the lead, in fact. Indeed, Beswick's gone to the lead. In fact, Cooley's come with him. Weldon goes back to third. Weldon third, Janetta in fourth, Martella fifth, Fargara sixth. Good stuff up front here now. As Eddie Beswick trying to get his third win of the season. Look at him check it out here as well. Weldon's going to work on Evan Cooley. Cooley came in here sitting fourth place in points. He's trying to get some back on Garzone as well. Garzone, though, up into 8th. Was 12th, I believe. 11th or 12th at the start. He's back to 8th already. I told you to watch that blue and white machine. He's to the outside there. Coming through turn number 9. Oh, driver's gone off again. 4 wheels off. Quite sure which driver that. Hard to pick that car up. Might have been the 23, or 22 rather, Majman. Trying to listen to the radio at the same time. Janetta all over his teammate right now. Janetta and Weldon. I think he wasn't quite able to get through. Both those VRD drivers battling it out. That is third and fourth. Cooley's got some open racetrack now. Doesn't have to defend on Weldon. Weldon's got to think about Janetta. One driver coming into pit lane. I think that's going to be Pashevich. I think it could be the drive-through for Pashevich for not going back over. I talked about the fact he did not come back over here to the chicane. Oh, big trouble there for the 22 of Majman. He was all crossed up coming through. I love that shot back at turn number 1. It just shows you how tough to come through there. And if you're not perfectly situated and have that car balanced on the transition in, it gets so rough trying to get back over to the turn 2 apex. Majman had a bunch of wheel in it. We're stringing things out a little bit here. Beswick be able to stretch away for the lead. It's Beswick, Cooley, Weldon, Janetta, and Martella top 5. Fargara 6th, Nanji 7th, Majman 8th, Garzone 9th, and Bossoff 10th. Ian Bossoff from 18th to 10th. What a drive forward for the South African for PFH Racing. Here's Martella going at it, trying to find the inside of Janetta. So Janetta was putting the pressure on Weldon, but now he's got to think about Martella behind him. Always tough when you can't focus forward. And Martella's got Vergara there as well. Everybody complaining about that aero wash. When you come through turn number 12, you're tucked up in behind, but you don't have the air flying over that front wing to give you that downforce to plant the car. So it just wants to push all the time. Look at these drivers hammer through here. Oh my goodness. Look at these cars going side by side. The 24 and Angie putting the pressure on Garzone as well. Wow. These guys are hustling. And you can even see from the front of the field to the tail of the field, it's probably a couple mile an hour difference of how much speed they're carrying into the corner. You can see the guys further back just not quite carrying that much speed. They held the brake a little longer, didn't release. And they're just not quite coming through with as much speed. These cars love to go fast. They need to go fast to be able to rotate. They're not fun to drive slow. The faster you drive them, the better they're going to handle. The faster you go, the more aerodynamics. Another driver dropping a wheel coming out of turn number 7 and 8. Out of 7, it's so tough there. Being told that number 25, after the drive-through penalty, actually has retired with a mechanical. So an issue there for Karol Pashevich in the Olivia Racing Machine, who leads the points in USF Juniors. Just a kind of a weekend here to get a feel for USF2000. Loves the extra horsepower of the race car. Looking forward to potential to 2027. Plan is to run with Olivia Racing next year. Still staying with the team that is going to take him to a title in juniors. Vergara trying to set up. Vergara's actually been able to get by Garzone. So indeed, Vergara by Garzone. Good stuff for Joao Vergara. Moving his way forward. Finally, things settling down a little bit here. We've got 10 in the books. 15 to go. Lots of racing still. Here we lost 4 drivers on the opening lap, with Nordquist, Kahn, Aspley, and Peter. Eddie Beswick out front. 1.2 seconds last time by. Vergara now trying to find a way by Martella. Field finally settling in here a bit here, but here's that battle right there. Great stuff. Weldon and Cooley. Cooley defends a bit to the inside, runs the inner line, able to hold him off. Martella and Vergara through. Garzone runs 8th. 9th is Bossoff. 10th is Ayrton Kahn. Ayrton Kahn started 15th. He's now up in to 10th. Ayrton Kahn, 8th place in points coming in, battling it out with Janetta, not that far behind Vergara and Martella. Had a good season so far. Trying to stack those points. Here's a move to the inside, coming into turn number 7 and turn number 8. He's through. A great pass there through turn 7. As Weldon gets through on Cooley to go to P2. See if Cooley can get anything going. He had to check up a lot. He lost a bit there. And you're going to see attack from Janetta here. Janetta down to the bottom. Cooley tries to hold him off. Janetta throwing it to the inside. He's through. Book it. Janetta goes to P3. So Weldon and Janetta, the 2 VRD drivers, teaming up on the exclusive Autosport number 90 at Cooley. So Weldon to 2nd, Janetta to 3rd. Another driver just pulled into pit lane. That might have been Cooley. Yeah, Cooley's falling down the order. Not sure what happened here with Evan Cooley. So Evan Cooley into pit lane. Not quite sure why. Being told of potential wing damage for Cooley as he heads to pit lane. And he will drop from 4th. It's going to put Martella up into 4th. Majman goes to 5th. Vergara up to 6th. Garzone 7th. Bossoff 8th. Kahn 9th, and Wesley Gundler back up to 10th. He was the tail of the field, was 17th. At the restart, he's got himself back up to 10th. Big cross up there for Vian Bossoff coming into 7th. Did not like the way that car transitioned into the right-hander. To the halfway point of a 25-lapper, working lap number 13. Here's Gundler going to the outside here on Bossoff. I said Bossoff had trouble. They're going to fight it down into turn number 10 and 11. And Gundler's going to come across the bow from right to left. Great overtake. Way to take advantage of that. Gundler now up a spot. Move Gundler into 8th. Cooley going back out with a new wing, but he'll go down a lap. Short track here at Portland. Being told some contact between Oliver Weldon. We talked about potential contact. Oliver Weldon and Cooley. That was the 98 and the 90 where Cooley ended up getting that damage, the pass over in turn 7 and 8. It is being reviewed by race control, I'm told. So they are going to have a look at that move to the inside for Weldon. So indeed, that's the sitch right now. We'll see how it all plays out here. Beswick's lead 1.6 seconds because last time by Weldon chewed up 0.3 of a second. He's 1.6 back with 12 laps to go. There's time. And here comes Janetta with him as well. Martella right there. Majman's worked his way back up to P5. Here's this fight a little bit further back. That's the 24 of Nanji. And Ayrton Khan in the 94. There's some great racing all the way through here in USF 2000. Once we're through the opening lap, that chaos of the festival chicane, such an opportunity then to go battle and fight each other here strong. It's good stuff. Gundler through. Look at this next group. 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, I believe that is. No, that's 9th, 10th, 11th. Khan, Nanji, Bossoff, Soleil. Fast driver so far, Ryan Janetta, 112.167. Again, part of that fastest lap of the weekend for Ghost Lap. We won't know who that is until we wrap things up tomorrow afternoon. A couple of races. We're back-to-back here this afternoon, folks. As you know, we got USF Pro 2000 waiting in the wings to roll out here. They're looking at around a 5:05 green flag. We've got Victory Lane celebrations after this one. And then we'll do it all again tomorrow as well. Back at it for a couple of races on Saturday. We're actually done on Saturday here this weekend. We'll go green flag racing at 12:50 with USF 2000 and at 2:30 with USF Pro 2000. Double headers for both of these categories. Oh, this is that fight between the 67 of Bossoff. Oh, one driver's gone off, yeah. Bossoff had trouble coming through. I think that might have been Naeem Saleh and Matt Cuthbert. He was getting scrapped with a couple of Jay Howard cars. Yeah. The Jay Howard car on the outside, I think Mia got shuffled off a little bit there. Able to get back on the racetrack, control the car, keep it out of the tires and get back on track. That was Naeem Saleh, the Brazilian. Race control will be looking at that right on screen. They'll have the replays of that. So turn 7, or the car 7 off in turn 11. Beswick's lead now down to a second. Weldon now with a fast lap of 12. 112.073. And he is up on it here. Can he reel in Eddie Beswick and try to steal away a race win? Weldon started on the pole all 3 races at Indianapolis. Did not finish the first one, but third and second. I think earlier I said 3 podiums, but actually 2 podiums. Third in race 2, second in race 3. Will he be able to get that first win? Does he have the pace to reel in Beswick? Last time by 0.3 quicker. Again 0.3 quicker. 0.832. Weldon's coming. How close is he now? Remember, it was less than a second. He's digging it. The draft working. 1, 2, 3 right there. 4th and 5th, Martella and Majman together. Majman, second place in points coming in. Remember, Garzone, your point leader, down in 7th. Majman trying to just claw back a couple of more points here. And all keeping yourself into the championship contention going into the triple header. So many points up for grabs in that September finale at Road America. Oh, here comes that battle still. Look at this. Coming down the bottom. Great move for Majman. 92 did not want to give it up. Martella stayed to the inside, and not quite enough for Majman. Had to back out a little bit of it. He had a line to the inside, but man, when you have that line inside there, you're going to be so shallow. Early entry into turn number 10. It's going to be tough to get over to 11. You got to be by. Here we come. Let's go. Look at this fight further back again for P4. Lock up. Martella still got it. Oh, around goes Majman. Majman's gone around in turn number 2. The fight between he and Martella. And he's back on the racetrack, but slow coming out of turn 3. He's going to come to a stop. Majman is going to come to a stop in turn number 4. And that'll be full course yellow. We haven't seen it yet, but he's off in turn number 4. Oh my goodness, second place in points, battling with Martella. He was a couple of spots ahead of Garzone. Full course yellow, lap 17, 8 to go. It's not going to be much of a cleanup, but it is going to get rid of whatever lead the 0.7 of a second Eddie Beswick had. Full course yellow. as we had a very aggressive battle for fourth between Anthony Martella and Brad Majman. And I believe that's Majman out in turn number 4. Or is it Beswick? They're both falling down the order right now. Beswick and Majman, both Paps cars. Majman's going to 9th. That's Beswick. Cars are obviously very, very similar. So I thought that was actually Majman that's slow, but that is Beswick, the leader, out over in turn number 4. My goodness. All right, we didn't really get a good shot of it, but we're going to see what we can get for you here, folks. We got some replays, so let's see what happened. The big battle was back for 4th. But here comes Beswick through. Look at the wheel. Something happened for Beswick there. I wonder if he got on the wall somewhere. So that's the issue there for Beswick. And here's the battle here. Okay, Majman threw it to the inside on Martella, but overcooked the braking. Got it in and lost the rear and looped it around. That's why he was able to get through the chicane area and wisely quickly got him. So watch the spin here. You can see the issue for the left front of Beswick. The left front of that car. Some kind of damage there. I said you wonder whether or not he got into the wall somewhere potentially. And then watch this here. And there's the move. Overcooks into the corner, loses the rear, slides it through. Martella, Vergara, all through to the inside. But excellent work by Majman to keep it running, get it going forward, and get back through the chicane to only drop down to 9th. What an up and down day for Majman, but he is digging. So Brad Majman back to 9th position. Point leader Sebastian Garzon's going to take advantage of that. He'll go to P5. How about Wesley Gundler back to 6th? This kid has impressed me so much this year. Single car effort with NV Motorsports. They've got 2 other cars ready to go. This team, their team principal, Matteo Nannini, is actually racing Indy next. He won at Nashville. So he's double duty here this weekend with Cape Motorsports as well. But they're looking to build this NV Motorsports team. They've got, as I said, 3 cars ready to go. Just the one for Gundler now. Expect that team to expand to 3 cars in 2027. They're going to work hard at trying to get drivers into those cars. This is their first full year. They actually debuted last year here with Spencer Hancock. But what a shakeup. We still have 10 minutes or 11 minutes remaining. By the time they come back around, it'll be 5 to go. I don't think we'll be able to go green this time by the short track. It all depends on where they decide to take the machine at Beswick. If they can get in behind the wall, we may be able to go back to green early. Not sure if that's the plan as of yet, but a shake up in a big way. Beswick, the Australian driver, leading by 0.7 of a second over Weldon. But instead now it's VRD 1-2. Weldon trying to get that first win. Ryan Ginetta wants a victory too, folks. His first podium was at Mid-Ohio a month ago. Ryan Ginetta looking to get his first victory. He and Weldon, the 2 VRD drivers, are going to battle it out. Hey, you know there's kind of team orders, but both these drivers want to win? I don't know. I think team orders are normally battle out as hard as you can, but just don't take each other out. That's the caveat, right? You're both spending money to be here racing this program. You're not paid drivers, so you both have the entitlement to go for the race win, but please don't take each other out. Pace car bolting up there. I don't know whether or not we're going to go green this time by. We'll see whether or not the pace car dives to the right side of the racetrack coming out. If he stays out there, no, one more lap. So, yeah, light's still on the pace car. So this will be lap number 20. We'll go lap 21 when they come back around. We're going to have 4 laps to go. Probably around 8 minutes. Lots of time on the clock still. There you go. Race control. The voice of race control, Jim Swintel, telling the pace car to shut those lights off. Weldon, your leader in the 98. Ginetta second. Martello third. Vergara fourth. Garzone fifth. Gundler sixth. Kahn seventh. Nanji eighth. Majman recovering to 9th, and Max Cuthbert 10th. Bossoff runs 11th, Countryman 12th, Morehart 13th, Soleil 14th. 14 drivers on the lead lap. Beswick and Pashevich out is going to put Cooley back up into 15th. Remember, he's still in the championship fight as well. But Garzone has been up and down. Outside the top 10 at one point. He's P5. And of the top 3 drivers in the points with, Majman was up front at one point. Beswick was leading. Now it's Garzone. He's actually the highest running driver in the top 3 in points. Only guy in front of him that's really kind of close is Martella and Ginetta. They're Vergara as well. So 6th, 7th, and 8th are ahead, but they're significantly back in points. This could be a big day here for Garzone. Remember, USF Pro 2000 still to come. Those drivers in the paddock area getting themselves in their cars momentarily. Restarts are tough here at Portland. You want to get the jump, but you may have to come to the inside to defend a little bit. It's going to open things up for Ryan Ginetta. VRD on VRD up front. Is Martella there to clean things up? Pace cars off. Green flag flying. Back at it for a 4-lap dash. Weldon, your pole sitter, back to the front. Ginetta actually defends to the bottom. More defense further back. Martella to the inside. He's going to take the spot potentially to the outside of the corner. Book it, he's through. Martella goes to second with a great move around the outside on Ginetta. Weldon's got the lead, though. Ginetta may have lost another spot as well. I think that potentially Vergara might have got through. Not quite sure. Those cars are very similar. Nope, Ginetta still got the spot. So Ginetta is still P3, Vergara 4th. Does Martella have the pace to go reel in Weldon? He hasn't had that outright speed all weekend long. Weldon's been there, qualified on pole. Remember, Martella started 8th. This could be the opportunity that Weldon's been looking for. Will it be the first win for Oliver Weldon? Garzone battling it out further back there. He's going at it with Ayrton Kahn. Oh, another driver's off and around he goes. That's Garzone potentially. The point leader's out. Garzone off in turn number 10 and 11. What is happening? Oh my goodness. He was battling there, as I said, with Ayrton Kahn, I believe. And Kahn didn't want to give it up. Neither did he. Is he able to continue? Do we go full course? Driver's scrapping it out still here. It's whether or not Garzone can get refired and back out onto the racetrack. Being told he has continued, so we will stay green. When they come back around, it'll be 2 to go. Weldon leads, Martella second. Ginetta, Vergara, and Gundler. Wesley Gundler up to P5. Kahn 6th, Majman 7th, Nanji, Bossoff, Cuthbert, your top 10. Action-packed race here in USF 2000. So many front runners going out. Beswick and Cooley, of course. Garzone in a position to gain points on Majman, but now he'll lose them off the racetrack in turn 11. Martella doesn't seem to have the pace. He's thinking about Ginetta right now. Vergara there as well. 2 to go this time by Weldon. Finally with open racetrack. Is this the race? Weldon not able to get a dub last year in USF Juniors. Wants that race win. So much pressure will be off with the victory. Good battle further back there between Kahn and Majman. I believe Majman may have been able to find a way by Kahn there as they battle all the way to the inside. Driver's right coming down into 1. Weldon's lead almost a full second on Martella. He was quicker by 0.2 on the last lap. Ginetta really helping his teammate out right now. Not able to go to P2 yet, but the bottom line is he's trying to keep Martella honest. How about VRD 1-3-4 right now with Weldon, Ginetta, and Vergara? Is this the time for Weldon? He's got a fantastic lead right now. And this is where they go back to those karting days. All the races you won coming up through the ranks in cadet, into the micro and the mini categories, those fantastic junior races at the national level. When you're out front, you're in that flow state, you're hitting the mark. That's the mark of a champion, when you can get that done, when you're putting down those big laps. He's got the fast lap of the race right now as well, folks. I think he's going to end up leading the most laps as well. He did. He's got 13 laps led, so he's going to end up getting the bonus point there as well. 1 to go for Oliver Weldon. Ginetta still putting that pressure on. Mashman able to get by Kahn, so Mashman up to 6th, Kahn 7th. Bossoff just turned his fastest lap on lap number 24. He's up into 9th. Liam Bossoff started in 18th, split the difference to P9. What a drive for the South African in the PFH racing machine. But the rest of this lap is all about Oliver Weldon. Martel's going to try to hold on for P2. It would be big for him in the championship to close him up as well. But Weldon works his way out of turn number 8 through the kink turn number 9. He has tried and tried and tried. Pushed hard. Just couldn't get that victory in USF Juniors. Pole here at Portland. Can he get it done again? Out of turn number 10 and 11. 1 corner to go. Grabbing gears and standing on the throttle. A straight run to the checkered flag. His dad's done it. His brother's done it. Ladies and gentlemen, he's going to be a winner in USF 2000 here at Portland for VRD Racing. It's win number 1 for Oliver Weldon. Weldon wins. Martella 2nd. Janetta 3rd. Vergara 4th. Gundler 5th. What a race for Wesley Gundler. Brad Mashman fighting back, and it'll be big for him. Garzone ends up finishing down the order in 14th. That's going to be big points for Mashman to tighten things up front. Wow. There are your unofficial results. Oliver Weldon with the victory. The margin 1.3 seconds. What a fantastic drive for Weldon. Anthony Martella ends up in 2nd. Ryan Janetta 3rd. Joao Vergara 4th. Wesley Gundler 5th. Brad Mashman 6th. Ayrton Khan up on the wheel into 7th. Lucas Nanji, great job to 8th. VM Bossoff 18th to 9th. And Max Cuthbert started 12th, went up and down, ends up finishing in 10th. And there's the remainder of the field. Kaylee Countryman started 20th. She stayed out of trouble and was able to work her way up to 11th, as did Jack Morhart. Both those drivers taking the escape route on the opening lap and then staying out of trouble to get 11th and 12th respectively. Naeem Saleh shoveled off there over in turn number 11. Garzone went off as well. Cooley with the wing damage. Beswick with the left front damage. Pashevich with the drive-through and a mechanical. And, of course, those drivers who wrecked early in the opening lap. Nordquist, Kahn, Aspley, and Peter. What a race. Those you hear, it'll go down as the first victory for Oliver Weldon in the USF Pro Championships. What a weight off that young driver to get the victory he's been pushing for. We'll have Weldon, Martella, and Janetta on the podium. For Ryan Janetta, back-to-back podiums. 4th in the opening race at Mid-Ohio, 2nd in race number 2. So back-to-back podiums for that young California. But this driver right here, Oliver Weldon, I cannot tell you, folks, how much of a weight off it is for these young racers when they get that first win. They push so hard. They just dig, and to get that first one, it's just, again, I often say that it's going to open the floodgates, and we'll see what happens here for Weldon. Does he come back and win another one? Big points for him as well. Fast lap of the race, most laps led, pole. That's a perfect day, folks. That's 33 points. Huge for Weldon. Great one for Martella as well, as he's able to work his way forward. Got big points for Martella. Remember, he rolled in here sitting 6th place in points. He was 21st and 22nd in the opening race at St. Pete. Taken out in the opening race, mechanical in the second race. He's won 3 events already, and these points are going to move him up big time. He may even be able to work his way up into the top 5. Martella's digging. Still lots of racing left to go. There's Ryan Janetta. Back-to-back podiums. 2nd at Mid-Ohio. 3rd here today. Lots of momentum for the young Californian. Bottom line is great stuff for all these drivers on the podium here today. Bobby Corso, I'm going to hand it over to you. I'm getting ready to head down to Victory Lane. Of course, as we know, USF Pro 2000. If you're watching on the broadcast right now, don't go anywhere. We're going to come right out of Victory Lane, right back up here into official driver introductions. The drivers will be out here ready to go. But, hey, we got podium celebrations to have first with USF Pro 2000.
Hey, what a fantastic race. Congratulations, of course, to Oliver Weldon. Perfect day, as you said, 33 points, pole, and a victory. Rob's going to head down to Victory Circle, joined up here by Phil Martelli. Phil, first race of the weekend, fantastic race. We saw it all. We saw issues in turn 1. We saw issues in different parts of the course. It's really what makes Portland, Portland.
I like what somebody said earlier today, I think during IndyCar practice, they were talking about that turn 1 there,
right, about
there was a big hole there, but it's the characteristics of the racetrack. And that if it wasn't for Calamity Corner, we may not have enough action. So that had a lot to do with it. But once we got past that first one, then it wasn't too bad after that.
No, not at all. But again, congratulations to Oliver Weldon. Impressive drive. Had some adversity in the race, fell back to third, was able to battle up. And, of course, some of the leaders had issues, wing damage. Another one had to come into the pits for another type of damage. But, man, Calamity Corner claimed 4 cars off the start. We had a car climb up over the back of another car, multiple spin-outs. A car lost a rear wing. So these cars are pushing. They're trying to get the win. We kind of heard that all day, and Rob was saying, listen, we want to make sure that we drive them home.
Exactly.
But it just was one of those days where the best guy won. And Oliver Weldon, congratulations. That's his first victory. Martella finishes second. Gianetta third. Vigera fourth. Gunler is fifth. Majman sixth. Najee 7. Boshoff 8. Cuthbert Max in 9th, of course. And then Kaylee Countryman is your top 10. But, man, what a first fantastic race. And we got one more to go, USF Pro 2000 up next.
And then these guys are back again tomorrow. And like
Yes,
you
they
said,
are.
they want to put them in the box in one piece because then they got a long haul for the next one.
Yep, they're heading off to Markham up in Canada, just north of Toronto. That is the brand new race debuting this year, which is going to be fantastic. I'm jealous. I really want to go to that race. I'm not going to be able to, but
Rob's got a plane. He can take you.
I know he does. I got some other obligations, unfortunately. But shout out to the guys. Great race there, first USF 2000. Great crowd too. We got people in the grandstands. We got people hanging out in our corporate suite. So we thank them for hanging out. And there's no other better place to be on a Friday. Just wait for that traffic to die out on I-5, and you have nowhere to go. We got one more great race to go, and it's going to be exciting. We saw what we just saw there with USF 2000 and Pro is going to be equally as amazing. So, again, we're all talking about Turn 1. Of course, we'll get set here for USF Pro 2000 coming up here in just a few minutes. Rob Howden is now down at Victory Circle, waiting for Oliver Weldon. And, all right, we're going to throw it down to, actually, Rob Howden at Victory Circle. Rob, take it away.
Bobby, thank you so much. Indeed, down here in Victory Lane right now for the first time of 4 here this weekend in Portland, all part of the Continental Tire Grand Prix of Portland. We've got a new race winner. We'll bring him up here momentarily, but folks, finishing in 3rd place today here in USF 2000. Round of applause for Ryan Janetta for VRD Racing. Ryan, grab your trophy over there, P3, back-to-back podium finishes. It's momentum, right? Tell me how good you're feeling right now with a couple of podiums, one here in Mid-Ohio and one here at Portland.
I mean, amazing. It's nothing like it. I'm just super happy to be back up here, and huge thank you to the team. Car was mega again. Couldn't be more happy.
Well done. Let's go to P2. Again, another driver working his way up in the championship. Second today for Exclusive Autosport, Anthony Martella. Anthony, grab that P2. Ludo, you started 8th position. You get up to 2nd. There's a lot of chaos around you, but, hey, P2's pretty solid for points.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, from how qualifying went, I can't complain, to be honest. Yeah, maximized what we could this race. Just unfortunately we couldn't go for the win, but congrats to the VRD boys. They did a good job. So hopefully tomorrow we can chase them for the race.
Well done, Anthony. Yeah, folks, this will be the place. Remember the trivia. Where did he win his first USF Pro race? It was here at Portland. The victor today for VRD Racing, Oliver Weldon. Oliver, grab your trophy here. Come on down here. Dude, I can't believe how tall you are right now. This is driving me crazy. Dude, first win. Let's just talk about the emotion of it, right? To get rid of that pressure. What a fantastic victory.
Yeah, definitely. I've been on the podium many times. So after the kind of not great restart, I just put my head down and I saw that Beswick had an issue. So I just capitalized on that and tried to pull away as much as I can. And in the end, it paid off.
Any worries or any nerves on that last couple laps? You were just putting down big laps. Fast lap of the race near the end as well.
Yeah, not really. If anything, I was trying to go for the fastest lap even faster, but it was still really good.
Who do you want to thank today?
All the VRD team, my mom, my brother, my manager Adrian, Andretti, TWG, Imaginarium, Big Machine, and all my other sponsors and other teammates and my family as well.
Nicely done. Get on top of that podium. What a fantastic win for Weldon, folks. 33 points, a full brace. Perfect day. Qualified on pole. Most laps led. Fastest lap. And the race win as well. 33 points for the young driver to St. Petersburg, Florida. What a great day for all 3 of these drivers. Again, as I said, back-to-back podiums for Ryan Janetta for VRD Racing as well. 2nd at Mid-Ohio with 3rd place here today. Tons of momentum there. Martella started 8th. The qualifying speed wasn't there, but he raced hard and was able to keep his elbows up and comes away with a very important top 3 finish. Because remember, Sebastian Weldon, who was running P5, rather Sebastian Weldon, pardon me, Sebastian Garzone, who was running P5, that issue over in turn number 11 off the racetrack, he fell down to 15th. That is going to blow things wide open in the championship battle here right now. Everybody behind him catching up on him. But champagne coming out for these young drivers. They're back at it again tomorrow, folks. One more race for USF2000. The pro drivers getting ready to roll out here, get things fired up. Guys, do me a favor. Grab that champagne, grip it and rip it. Race number 1 win for Oliver Weldon in USF2000. Anthony Martella, great drive to P2. Ryan Janetta in 3rd. Awesome stuff in USF2000. Turn 1 was a bit of chaos. We may see it again here in USF Pro 2000. Those drivers getting the roll here momentarily.
All right, Rob, back down to victory lane. Rob, thank you so much. As he said, we're getting ready for USF Pro 2000 coming up here in just a few minutes. Starting lineups, and the cars will get rolling out onto the track. 14 cars headed down to turn 1 as one mass group. Phil, it's going to be fun. It's going to be dangerous. I cannot wait.
Race number 2 of 7 for the 3-day show. We're looking forward, like you just said, turn number 1.
Yep, Leonardo Scorpione will lead the field to green here coming up in just a few minutes. Cars are getting staged out on pit lane, so they will get ready to go, of course, behind that beautiful Honda Type R pace car. Man, that thing just flies. I wouldn't mind getting one of those and taking that.
I could hook you up.
I know you
think
could.
That's the one I was in.
Long story short, a few years ago, I'm coming into the track, and I look over and I see the pace car doing laps, and I was like, you know what? I wonder if Phil's in there. I just had this gut feeling, and I park, and Phil comes running over to me. He's like, you won't believe what I just did. I just talked my way into a pace car ride. Sure enough, that's why. So you, my friend, are a legend for that. But we are super excited. Again, 14 cars coming up. Race number 2 of the day. Race number 1 for USF Pro 2000. They'll have one more tomorrow. But it is going to be a lot of fun where we're going to welcome Rob Howden back into the booth, just coming up from victory lane. And congratulations to Oliver Weldon, first career win in the USF ladder. What a time for him. What a win for that young man. Pretty impressive stuff as Rob puts the headset on. Where do we rank this win for him? I mean, in the overall scale of things, what are we looking at here?
Well, biggest win in his career. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
You know, all the drivers that come into this program have won races before in karting. You know, they've come up through the ranks. Maybe some of the new drivers, maybe not. Maybe they're just kind of jumping into cars. But for the most part, guys like Weldon have been winning races all the way up through the karting ranks, right? So you get the higher you get, anytime you win, especially for the first time, it's the biggest win of your career. That's the bottom line.
That's very impressive stuff, and we'll let you catch your breath. I know that you've been sprinting all over stuff. It's not the easiest jump between here and PIR. It's down 3 flights.
It's the 3rd floor.
Yeah. It's down 3 flights, up 1 flight, down the flight, back up 3. And I think you just did it in record time. So we're glad to have you back. We're getting ready, as we said, for USF Pro 2000. Leonardo Scorpione will lead the field to green here in just a few minutes. But what an impressive first race. Cannot wait.
So indeed, exactly as Bobby said, we are set to go with 14 drivers here in the USF Pro 2000 program here. Again, all presented by Continental Tire, part of the Continental Tire Grand Prix of Portland. 14 set to go. Let's have a look at the grid. At the tail of the field, row number 7, J.T. Hoskins of Sarasota, Florida. Moving up from USF Juniors this year. He is in that number 7 for J. Howard Driver Development, powered by ECR. He'll start 14th alongside Joey Brienza for Exclusive Autosport of Colorado in the number 91. Using the Kelly School of Business, Indiana University machine. Beautiful race car for Joey Brienza, starting in the 13th spot. Row number 6, starting on the outside from North Carolina, Turn 3 Motorsports, Tyke Durst in the number 3. And alongside him in the number 44 from Austin, Texas for Turn 3 Motorsports, Brady Golan in the number 44. Up now into the top 10, row number 5. Both these drivers winners here last year in USF 2000. They battled for the championship with Jack Jeffers on the outside from Bethel, Ohio for TJ Speed Motorsports. The rookie Thomas Schrag starting in the number 26, P10. Alongside him starting in 9th, the number 25, Teddy Masella out of Orlando, Florida in the VRD racing machine. Masella on the inside, Schrag on the outside. Up into row number 4 on the outside from Sonoma, California in the TJ Speed Motorsports number 27, the rookie driver Christian Cameron starting 8th. And alongside him in the number 77, the driver from Newport Beach, California, racing for VRD Racing, it's Fast Frankie Mossman. Mossman ready to roll off from P7. Up to row number 3 on the outside, all the way from New Zealand, Auckland, New Zealand, for Turn 3 Motorsports in the number 22 machine. That is Sebastian Manson. Great qualifying run for him as the second fastest Turn 3 car. Manson starting 6th. And on the inside from Peru for Jay Howard Driver Development, powered by ECR on a fantastic run of finishes. 4 podiums in the last 5 races. The Peruvian Andres Cardenas in the number 6, the rookie starting in the 5th position. Row number 2 on the outside, moving over to Pabst Racing. In fact, in all Pabst Racing, row number 2 in the number 19 machine out of Jacksonville Beach, Florida, Colin Aiken, his best qualifying effort of the year. Aiken in the 19 on the outside. His teammate in the number 18, starting 3rd, G3 Argyros. Been a great season for Argyros so far. 3rd place in points. Swept the weekend at Road America. Argyros out of California for the Pabst Racing car in the number 18, starting 3rd. 14 drivers, 2 on the front row. The guys in the front row are last year's USF 2000 and USF Juniors champions, respectively, using the USF Pro Championship scholarship livery. Last year's USF 2000 champion won it here in Portland out of San Antonio, Texas for Exclusive Autosport. The number 92 is Jack Jeffers. He and the driver here on the pole separated by just 2 points coming into the weekend. This battle for the title to go Indy Next Racing in 2027. Jeffers on the outside, and on the inside starting on the pole from Windermere, Florida in the number 4 for Turn 3 Motorsports. It's Leonardo Scorpioni. Scorpioni set to roll here. Again, USF Juniors champion last year. Did the first 2 races in USF 2000 at St. Pete, but got a chance to race with Turn 3 and said, hey, you know what? I'm going to go USF Pro 2000 Racing. And he has not looked back. Won the opening race of the year at Arlington after a minor issue with Jack Jeffers, put him off track. But the bottom line is Scorpioni and Jeffers will be on row 1. Argyros and Aiken on row 2. Cardenas and Manson, row 3. Mossman and Cameron, row 4. Masella and Schrag, row 5. Golan and Durst, row 6. Brienza and Hoskins on row number 7. Again, drivers getting set to roll here. 30 laps, 45-minute window. Scorpioni and Jeffers, the 2 drivers battling it out for the championship right there, side by side on the front row. We'll see how it all plays out when they roll down into turn number 1, 2, and 3. USF 2000 did not put a great show on. The leaders actually did a pretty good job coming through, and even those who couldn't make the corner did what they were supposed to do, getting over to the penalty chicane on the far left part of the racetrack. But further back, the second half of the field, a lot of chaos, drivers getting to the back of each other. You hate to see that further back in the pack. You don't need to do that when you're rolling in. If you're in the last couple of rows, check up, hang back, and then roll through once the chaos happens. It's free money if you play your cards right. Indeed, 228 points for Leonardo Scorpioni. You look at his line item. The only race that was really the blemish was the doubleheader at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Had a bad flip over there in turn number 9 and 10. Damaged the car big time, but he has bounced right back from that. The issue there ends up coming back at Indianapolis Raceway Park for the Carbonite Classic and the Freedom 90. Goes P2, and then from there has not been outside the top 5. 5th in both races at Road America. Swept the action at Mid-Ohio. Used all those points to just edge ahead of Jack Jeffers, who, like Scorpioni, has only one finish outside of the top 6, and that was 18th in the opening round at Arlington. He won the next day, and he's been on a roll ever since. For Jack Jeffers, it's been top 5, 3 podiums over the last 5 races, wanting to continue that streak. Again, all about staying close so that you can drop the gloves, if you will, and go at it. And we have our triple header finale at Road America in late September. Otherwise, the driver's getting set to go. We talk a lot about these race cars and USF2000. Really just more of everything. They'll go about 4 seconds faster at this particular racetrack here. And when they turn around, you're going to see what they're going to be able to do in terms of just sheer acceleration. They're going to go deeper into the braking zones. Like I said, 50 more horsepower, more aerodynamic downforce on the cars, bigger tires, bigger brakes, just more of everything. Braking, grip, transition, you name it. Again, one of the tougher cars to drive. If you can drive a Pro 2000 car, I think you're going to have what it takes to be able to get up to Indy next. We've seen it over the years. You look at the last 8 champions in USF Pro 2000. 5 of them are in IndyCar. The other 3 are starring, winning races thus far in Indy next. We're waiting for that first big victory for last year's champion, Max Garcia. So indeed, field set. We're just seconds away from getting these engines to fire back up and get things underway. There you have it, folks. Command coming from race control to fire up the engines. A Scorpione brings that elite engines machine to life. Again, all of these drivers on the Tatis chassis, the same base chassis, the same tub in all 3 of our series. That'll change, though, in 2028. The brand new 8PT28, the new car that was released, all the information released most recently. We'll see that new car in 2028. This one here, really, for the most part, kind of started back in 2018. We updated the tub to include the halo in 2022. So it's been a number of years with this particular race car. So it'll be time to roll something new out. More modern race car, very similar to some of the Formula Regional programs. You see a beautiful Tatis car. Excited to see that thing hit the track in anger in 2028. 2 pace laps around here once again, 30-lap distance. Ready to get things underway here. A Scorpione and Jeffers on the front row. Looking to get things rolling here. Scorpione and Jeffers on row 1. Argyros and Aiken row 2. So you look at the points, it's the same as the starting lineup. Scorpione, Jeffers, Argyros. That's where they are. Although 2 points separate first and second coming into the weekend. Argyros is a little ways back, to be honest. He's about 51 points back and 33 points up for grabs in a race weekend. He's got work to do for Argyros, although he has had some high points, as we have said. At Mid-Ohio, a triple header there for the USF Pro category. A couple of top 5s, a 15th in the opening round. But those wins at Road America really helped move him forward. Argyros has been a winner here before, I believe, as well, at Portland, running in USF 2000. Jeffers has won here, as we know. Scorpione has won here last year. With a Scorpione and Jeffers winning their championships here at Portland last year. We got a long way to go till we find out who scores the championships for 2026, that's for sure. Remember, these drivers here, USF Pro 2000, the scholarship, if you win to go Indy Next Racing, $593,000. That's a big chunk of the budget you need to move up into the pro category. That Indy Next Series, one step away from IndyCar. 2 warm-up laps. The heat built into these Continental tires. This racetrack, 1.964 miles, 12 corners. Sends you half the racetrack, though, onto the front straightaway and off the front straightaway. 1, 2, 3, Festival Chicane. 10, 11, 12, Chicane end of the back straightaway onto the front chute. So really, I said half the corners at the start and finish of the long front straightaway. But again, between there, drivers will tell you, you look at it, it doesn't look like it's going to be super complicated, but the nuances of this racetrack, to be able to really hustle the car around. We've seen so many drivers dropping wheels here and there because you're trying to use all the racetrack. It's a tough one for sure. We don't get a chance to come here to test. That's why we had the 2 45-minute test sessions for each series on Thursday. No one's making the trek all the way out here to test, so drivers do as much as they can in terms of being on the sim on iRacing. When they get here, it's time to go racing. Our Honda Civic Type R pace car. Give itself a little bit of room coming out of turn number 7. Through the 8, sweeping turn number 9. Pace car bolting away. Put it in the hands of a Scorpione. Jeffers will be on the outside. We'll see how it plays out coming down into turn number 1. 14 drivers here in USF Pro 2000. A wild one in USF 2000. Championship proponents side by side in the front row. Great looking field here in USF Pro 2000. Last year's champions in juniors and 2000 respectively. They're getting some pace. Wait for the green to come out. Aaron Likens up in the booth in the tower, ready to pull that green. And we're underway. Folks, green, green, green. Early one here in USF Pro, and we're underway. Big run to the back there for Aiken, trying to get a run. They're coming down into the corner. Yes, Jeffers is going to go back a little bit. Oh, contact there. That's going to be a lost rear wing, I think, for Jeffers, as I believe that might have been Manson climbing over the back of Jack Jeffers. Horrible luck for Jeffers, as the rear wing, I believe, gone on the exclusive Autosport machine. Indeed it is. He's going to try to hold on to that race car. No rear downforce on this machine. He will be holding on. He's got to hope for some kind of a yellow here. Otherwise, he's going to go down a lap. Jeffers pulling off to the right side of the racetrack, left rather side of the racetrack here. Wing damage, of course, for Manson, who drives right up over the back of Jeffers, who was checking up to make sure he was able to get over to the corner. Having a look to see whether, nope, no yellow still. You wonder whether or not the wing's out in the middle of the racetrack somewhere. It's going to allow Argyros to go to the lead. G3 Argyros has gone to P1. Look at Jeffers holding on here. That team's going to grab a wing and do the best they can. He's stacking everybody up behind him. He's going to try to get to the right side of the racetrack. And he can't. He's still out on the racetrack because he just couldn't get down to the bottom of the track. Oh, goodness. Jeffers to the inside of the racetrack, doing whatever he can to hold him off here. Can you believe this? No rear wing. And I think that's Scorpione right behind him as well. Yeah, Scorpione from pole went back as well. I want to see a replay of the start sooner or later to have a look at actually what happened there. I was kind of fixated on all of a sudden Manson up in the air climbing up the back, but Jeffers is doing whatever he can to hold on. And you know what? I think that's a good move. If you can stay on the racetrack for another lap, potentially wait for something to happen, maybe get that full course yellow you're looking for, to try to get this thing repaired. He's going to go to the tail of the field now. Race control telling the 92 of Jack Jeffers to come to pit lane. Not surprising. It looked to me like he kind of got hung out to dry and kind of, because of the wing, wasn't able to get the car down to the inside of the racetrack, but nonetheless falling to the tail. Still hustling around here with no rear wing. So we're going to get a chance to have a look at the replay here, folks, as the leaders are out running. Argyros, Aiken, Paps Racing 1-2, Cardenas up into the third spot. Here's a look. So watch the turn in here. I'm trying to look at the leader as well. There's a Scorpione. Watch Manson. He's just going to climb up. It's because a Scorpione can't make the turn. A Scorpione can't get it woed up. He's got to go to the side. So does one of the TJ Speed cars. Jeffers gets woed up enough. Manson drives over the back of him. I wonder whether or not Argyros was on the gearbox of a Scorpione. It looks like a Scorpione just couldn't get the thing turned. Aiken tried on the outside. There's the contact there, up over top of the wing. It's the wing of Manson's car, or of Jeffers actually stuck onto Manson's car right now. Jeffers into pit lane. They're going to do what they can to get that thing repaired, but that is horrible for Jeffers. And that's why you stack points as much as you can. You never know what's going to happen. I always talk about the fact that there's always a first corner at a track where the leader, who could be out to a massive lead, is going to have contact. Being told the number 26 getting a drive-through penalty. That'll be, the 26 is Thomas Schrag. Improper use, I think, of the runoff. That's coming from race control. Drive-through for number 26. Improper use of chicane bypass. So that's Thomas Schrag. Drive-through penalty for Schrag. Doing what they can to try to get the machine of Jeffers back out. They got to get it repaired, get him back on the racetrack, and hope to get a couple of spots. He's currently 14th. Tough one for Jeffers when he had actually woed it up enough to be able to get back to the apex, even with the potential contact between the Scorpione and Argyros coming into the corner. Yeah, they are looking at that. So hearing from race control, they are looking at further review of the potential incident between Argyros and Scorpione in turn number one. Jeffers still in pit lane. Argyros with the lead. Aiken runs in second. Cardenas in third. Mossman fourth. Christian Cameron fifth. Masella sixth. Scorpione up into seventh spot. Brady Golan in eighth. Joey Brienza ninth. Make it tight. Durst up into ninth. Joey Brienza 10th. So that'll be it for Jack Jefferson, the number 92. Wow. Off track. Not able to get it repaired. You don't know how much extra damage, but Jeffers out of this one. The last thing you wanted from P2 in the championship, having run just 5 straight top 5 finishes, a DNF here in round number 11. Crazy stuff as his driver he's battling with, Scorpione, back to 7th. A lot of reviewing getting done. I'll say this about our race control. One of the things that our crew will do, if possible, is they try to hand out penalties inside the race, as opposed to waiting to the end of the race and using a 30-second penalty. If there's a possibility that they can say exactly who the instant responsibility is for, they'll give that driver a drive-through penalty. So instead of saying, hey, you race all race long, you were able to get yourself to whatever, we're not going to let that happen. We're going to make sure you come in, because then potentially you're going to be able to come back. A yellow flag allows you to come back forward. So they're looking at all that video here, and we'll see whether or not anything comes down. Contact between 2 drivers, potentially in turn 1 and 2 on that opening start. Scorpione is still with a fast lap of the race early on. 5 laps into 30 lapper. A long way to go in this one. Argyros out to a 1-second lead now over his teammate Colin Aiken. And Aiken, his first weekend with Pabst Racing in that number 19 machine. They run 1-2 right now. Cardenas up into third. Frankie Mossman, who started in 7th, has got himself up to P4. Mossman currently 5th place in the points. 7 points behind Cardenas and 10 points behind Argyros. He'll still lose some points to both of those drivers, but still stacking a few. With Jeffers further back. Jeffers and Scorpione, of course, the drivers they're battling against. So right now, Mossman 3 spots ahead of Scorpione. Anytime you're able to come into a race weekend and finish ahead of the point leader, it's really a successful weekend. You're closing back up. Mossman eyeing up Andres Cardenas as well on the Jay Howard car. Sebastian Manson still on the racetrack. Down a lap, I believe. Not sure whether or not he had to come back into pit lane or not. Actually, he may not be down a lap. He still may be out there, but just significantly back. Jeffers, though, is out. Tough one for last year's USF 2000 champion. He'll have to come back with a vengeance tomorrow to try to stack some points. Although Scorpione in 7th is not going to stretch that much out front. The best would be for Argyros here to get some points. Colin Aiken's got to feel good about running P2, I'll tell you that. It's been a struggle of a rookie season for Aiken, currently 12th. Only one top 10 finish on the season so far for Colin Aiken. That was 9th the opening round at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Now finds himself running P2. I asked him how he liked the feel of the car. Very happy with it. And he's obviously been hustling around big time here. Qualified P4. Best qualifying effort by far as well. Everybody set their fastest laps here on this last lap by. Tires coming up to temperature. Those tire pressures are not set to be good in the opening 5 laps. You want that car to get better and better throughout a 30-lap run. So tire pressures are set low, knowing it's going to get good when the tires start, or the fuel load starts burning off. Thomas Schrag just set fast lap, 108.781. Fast lap for Schrag in qualifying was a 7.9, and he's turned at 8.7. So in the high heat of the day at 89 degrees, I don't think you're going to see a driver go quicker here. We talked about in qualifying. Oh, a driver's gone off deeper in the field. I think that might have been a Scorpione potentially. I think a Scorpione just went off. That's the leader in the points. Has gone off there. Look at it. He's on the other side there. He's going to try to come back on the racetrack. A Scorpione off in turn 11 had to go the escape route the far side of the drag strip and to come back on. He's fallen down the order. So if you were in third on back in the championship, you would not have thought coming into the opening round at Portland that a Scorpione and Jeffers would have had trouble. Jeffers is out. He's 14th. A Scorpione just fell back to 11th and 2.5 seconds behind JT Hoskins. So the leaders, the championship, up by a significant amount. Scorpione, 51 points up on Argyros. He's going to gain a ton back here. Talk about bringing yourself back in the fight, provided no issues at all with the contact potential between he and Scorpione in one. We said the race control was having a look at the incident, the contact potential between 18 and 4 on the opening circuit. We have not heard any update from that as of yet. Not know if any action has been taken. One of the issues here, of course, with these USF Pro 2000 races is drivers having that strength, that stamina. Because these races are, number one, they're 5 laps longer. You're driving a car with way more mechanical grip, and there is no power steering in these race cars, folks. It's a lot. And you see these drivers in USF Pro, and they hit the gym hard because these race cars are a handful to drive. The extra grip. We talked about the fact that the front wheels of the Pro car are the rear tires of the 2000 car. So think about the extra track width, the extra contact patch, the extra downforce on the car, more horsepower, a lot of race car. And in a day like this, at 89 degrees, hot, not too humid, but hot, and it is warm out, sun beating, and you're hustling these cars around for 30 laps. All about trying to get you ready for Indy next and eventually up to the NTT Indy Car Series. Schrag still with the fast lap of the race. Both Brienza and Hoskins turning their fastest lap on the last time by. Both drivers going 109.5, so only about 0.6 of a second off. The lap time's coming down from the leader. So that's a great pace there for Brienza and Hoskins. Not that far back. G3 Argyros, the driver up front right now. 1.2 seconds for Argyros out front. There's a Scorpione trying to close back up a little bit here on JT Hoskins. He's just thinking about trying to find as many points as he possibly can. He's got to claw his way back forward. Almost recovery mode right now for Leonardo Scorpione. He started on the pole, wasn't able to get through, took the escape route correctly, but an issue going off at turn number 11, shaking things up in a big way, handing the lead to the two Pabst cars. Right now it's Argyros and Aiken 1-2, and in fact, Andres Cardenas still there trying to find a way by Aiken. He's got some gap, though. As you can see, the drivers right behind him, the 77 of Frankie Mossman, the 27 of Christian Cameron, and the 25 of Teddy Masella. Christian Cameron in that number 27 machine, currently sitting 10th place in points. It's had a couple of solid runs, had a good little streak of top 10 finishes. We're going to try to keep that going here now. It's getting some momentum midway through the season. The driver to Sonoma, California, currently running P5. Settling things down now. You see the big gap from a Scorpione back as he keeps digging, trying to get by Hoskins. Last time by quicker by almost a full second. He got down to a 108.8. Yeah, Scorpione's turning the same times as the leaders right now. He's just mired so far back after going off over in turn number 11. I don't know that he was battling with anybody, if he just maybe missed coming through the chicane. I don't think there was contact. Looked to me like he might have just hustled the car in and potentially dropped the wheel on the exit. And he went well off, was able to get that car back to the left side of the runoff, and not into the barriers, very luckily, and able to find himself coming away cleanly and able to keep digging. He's got the fast lap. That's a bonus point for him there, so that's a good thing. But right now, Pabst Racing runs 1-2. Trying to lay one down here. Argyros looking for another win. He's won here before in USF 2000 competition, and there's a Scorpione there by JT Hoskins. So move him up another spot. That's the top 10. And you always think about the championships and the battles and how they kind of happen. When you get to the end of the season and you're thinking about, man, I need if I only had 1 or 2 more points. You go back to some of those races, maybe when you weren't running up front, maybe when it wasn't easy and you were digging and trying to find that one extra spot. It's how you recover and maybe manage a bad weekend, a bad race, and you just claw back 1 or 2 more points. Well, you can get that done like we're seeing here with a Scorpione. If he's able to potentially reel up on Joey Brienza, although Brienza turned some good laps here. That's those extra bonus points. You don't think about those. You think more about the race wins. Hey, I got a bonus point here, but when you get shuffled to the tail of the field, you can come back through. Brad Majman had it happen in USF2000. He was all the way back, kept digging, and got himself up a bunch of points there as well. Tough one, though, for Jack Jeffers. P2 with the points coming in. The last thing you want to see. Especially when he had woed up enough to not be part of it. And very likely, the way it kind of happened, he likely would have came out of the corner potentially in second, because he had it checked up. Scorpione got pushed through. It looked like he got pushed through, maybe overbraked it. And no word from race control as of yet with that review. Cardenas just turned his fast lap. That's what he needs to do here right now. He's about a tenth quicker than Aiken. He's trying to see if he can't get himself up to second. And again, I talked a lot to Hev over the last couple of races about Andres Cardenas, kind of getting a feel for the car, right? He ran Euro Cup 3 last year. Oh, being told the car is stopped in turn number 6, folks. This is going to be full course yellow. The 25 of Teddy Musella potentially stopped in turn number 6. So we'll likely go full course unless that driver is able to refire. I got line of sight on our starter, Aaron Likens. I'm not seeing anything out of him as of yet. But being told the 25 has stopped on course over in turn number 6. That is the left-hander that leads back over to the 7-8 complex onto the back straight. Full course yellow. There it is. So Aaron Likens pulling out the yellow flags. Full course yellow. Stack them and repack them. There you have Teddy Musella. The AMR safety team quickly onto the scene. So drivers all slowing up. Being told an electrical problem being called in by Teddy Musella. Tough for him as he was running P6. Get a chance to potentially claw himself a little further forward, potentially up into 6th place in the points had he had a good run here. Argero's the leader. Aiken 2nd. Cardenas 3rd. Mossman 4th. Cameron 5th. Golan now up into 6th. Durst 7th. Brienza 8th. Scorpione 9th. And JT Hoskins 10th. So the drivers will cycle around here. Eventually catch up to the pace car, which has picked up G3 Argeros. I'm being told at this time, no call as of yet on the potential review they had to look at with the 4 and the 18 in turn 1. That'll be something they'll probably look a little further at. One of the things that we do in the series is as the drivers come off the racetrack, our tech crew will collect all of the onboard cameras. Every one of these cars here is equipped with an onboard camera. Those videos, of course, used extensively in post-race review of any kind of incidents. Our drivers in the car, if something happens, if they're blocked, if something happens on the racetrack, they're able to call in, essentially a protest to a certain extent, but call in to their team. The team then relays that to one of our pit techs that's on pit lane. They call it up to race control. That way, race control then can mark and say, hey, listen, we've been told there's a potential issue here. Pretty easy to go back and look at it, find the lap, find the video. Again, one of the best tools that our race control has is those video memory cards that come in after each race. Tough one for Teddy Musella running in that 6th position. They're going to bring him off the racetrack on the exit of turn number 8. They're not going to bring him all the way back, so he'll just come off the outside there of turn number 8. And we can go back to green flag very quickly. So we'll have one more lap around here. 15 laps in. We're at the halfway point now. Remember, 30 laps here, halfway point. Argyros, Aiken, Cardenas, Mossman, and Cameron top 5. Golan, Durst, Brienza, Scorpioni, Hoskins. Schrag runs 11th. I believe Manson may be down a lap. But they'll go green this next time by. Lights already out of the pace car. And we just saw VRD versus VRD at one point on the restart in USF2000. Now it's Pabst versus Pabst. Again, we talk about the fact that you're allowed to race each other, but whatever you do, don't take each other out. You know, that's kind of the call down on high. The team owner will just let people know, hey, listen, you guys can battle it out, but we'd love to see a Pabst 1-2 here. Although I guarantee you, Andre Cardenas, he's waiting for that first win. He's had so many close calls. 2nd and 3rd at Road America. 7th, 2nd, and 3rd at Mid-Ohio. 4 podiums in the last 5 races for Andres Cardenas. He is looking for his breakthrough win. We already had one for as we know, Oliver Weldon getting his first USF Pro Championship win in USF 2000 just not 20 minutes ago. And we'll line things up. Again, the run here, long straightaway down into the very hard braking. Turn 1-2. Does Colin Aiken have anything for G3 Ardros? Aiken only in his really second or first full season in the USF Pro. He didn't do the full season last year in juniors. He's jumped to pro. He's got a chance to potentially go for a race win. We're back at it. Second half of this race underway. 17 laps in, 13 to go. Aiken thinks about a look to the inside, not quite enough. A couple drivers locking up some wheels. Otherwise, we're clean and green through. Good stuff through turn number 1, 2, and 3. Battle, I think, is probably going to be for 3rd, as Cardenas is going to have his hands full right now with Frankie Mossman. Mossman 4th, Cameron 5th. Scorpioni trying to see if he can't grab a couple of spots away from his turn 3 motorsports teammates as well. Already by Brienza. Now trying to get by potentially Golan and Durst. There's an opportunity. In fact, he's going to get one spot already. Scorpioni is potentially going to go to P6 here. What a recovery that would be considering the incident early. He'd be able to get some points on Jeffers, who's at the tail of the field with only that one lap in after the contact in 1. Manson on the racetrack, I believe, in the number 22, but down a lap. Yeah, there he is right there. He's down a lap. I would expect to see a post-race penalty for Manson for the contact with Jeffers. Lots of work to be done by race control. Let's put it this way. They're not rolling out for an early dinner, I can tell you that right now. Lots of video to look at. Scorpioni gets to the inside of Golan, coming down into turn number 1, so move him through. Scorpioni now up into 6th. And you know what? I told you before, he's been putting down some fast laps. I think he may be able to get even further forward. Scorpioni qualified on pole. Remember, he was all the way back into like 10th or 11th with the contact early. I think it's this yellow, huge for a Scorpioni. Thought maybe it was going to maybe give an opportunity to Aiken with Ardros having that bit of a gap. He still got it, but for a Scorpioni, to be able to claw back this many points is huge. Again, fast lap, a 1:08.4, not even close to what they did earlier today. So that second fastest lap in qualifying is the one that's going to work. In qualifying, your fast lap sets the grid for race 1. Your second fastest lap sets the grid for provisionally race 2. But if you go faster in the race, you can use that instead of your second fastest qualifying lap. No one close here. 89 degrees trackside. It's a hot one. So we're well off. In fact, way over a second off in terms of fast time. Like a 1:08.4 for a Scorpione. He did a 1:07.2. 1.2 seconds off fast lap. And a lot of these drivers rolled out on sticker Continental tires. It's just the track's that far off with the heat. Last time by a Scorpione, a couple of tenths quicker than Christian Cameron. We're going to have anything for him here. Looks like he's trying to set. He'll get a good run here on the draft coming out of turn 8 through 9. There's no doubt about that. Watch it a little further back. Yeah, here comes a Scorpione. Get the big draft coming through. You'll lose a bit, though, because you're going to get that aero wash when you come through turn number 11 here. But I would expect a Scorpione to be able to set up Cameron here in a couple laps. That's where you get the big aero washes coming through 12. It's that long duration right-hander. You're rolling on power. You're hoping for that front to give you the grip. Everybody powering through right there. Oh, big tank slapper for Golan. Rear end checked out on him when he got through. Able to hold on to it, and his teammate Tyke Durst right behind him. Durst running in the 8th spot. This would be the best finish of the year for Tyke Durst, P8. Started 12th, +4. Scorpione looking to the inside there, turn number 7. Thinking about it. It's all about getting a better run out of turn 7 through 8 and 9. Can he get the run down into 10? Can he send it to the inside? Not close enough. Seeing if he can't maybe push Cameron into making a minor mistake. That's one thing every one of these drivers will tell you. Even if you have the aero wash issue, the best thing you can do is keep that pressure on. All it takes is one mistake, just missing the braking. Dropping a wheel somewhere. You can't let up on the pressure. We'll get that shot as they come through. Look at this. He's on him now. No doubt about it. There's the TJ Speed cars, or rather the Turn 3 cars, 7th, 8th, and 9th. TJ Speed with Christian Cameron in 5th and Schrag in 9th. Manson 1 lap down, having to come to pit lane to repair the wing after the contact with Jeffers in the opening corner. This one's settling in now. Scorpione currently 6th. He'll gain significant ground in pulling away from Jeffers and limit the amount that Ardros is able to come back. Right now, Ardros has led the most laps, doesn't have the fast laps, so about 31 points if Ardros were to bring it home from where he runs right now. Scorpione 6th. I think that's 14 or 15 points. So he's going to lose 15, but he's up by 51. So still a lot of ground there. Jeffers is the guy that's going to take the biggest hit. He was 49 points up on Ardros. But Ardros very likely going to gain around 25 points on him. Still a lot of cushion. Both those drivers with big cushion coming in. But this could be huge for Ardros. Ardros, Aiken, Cardenas, 1, 2, 3, your current podium if they finish that way. There they are. Scorpione put the pressure on. Oh, is he? Driver slowing. Coming out of turn number 5. 4 and 5, a driver slow. I think that might have been Frankie Mossman. The 77, that is both VRD cars. Masella, and now being told a broken left front by race control. We saw that as well with Eddie Beswick. Remember his left front wheel was wobbling away like he broke the hub. Full course yellow as he is stopped on the racetrack. My goodness. A Scorpione with new life. Aiken with new life. Cameron goes up to 4th. Scorpione up to 5th. Golan 6th. Durst 7th. Schrag 8th. Mossman falling down. It's going to put JT Hoskins to 9th. And Joey Brienza up to 10th. Here's the one thing. 23 laps down. They're going to have to likely get a tow truck out here to actually lift Mossman up. If the damage to the left front is enough that he can't roll it, they're going to have to get the hook out here for him. That's going to make things a little bit interesting. Mossman climbing out of the car. It's been a rough run of races here for Frankie. He had a great run through Road America in the start of Mid-Ohio. 3rd and 4th of the Road America races. Podium 3rd in the opening Mid-Ohio, but then 16th and 11th. And now he's going to card likely a 12th place finish. Tough for Frankie Mossman. What kind of a battle are we going to get at the end here? That's the thing. Ardros able to hold off Aiken on the opening lap, the opening restart there, but Aiken almost having to think about Cardenas. Christian Cameron, does he have what he needs for a potential podium? His first podium here in USF Pro 2000 competition. Again, they're just waiting for that hook to get around. We know that if they hook him up there, they're going to be able to get him over to turn number 8, and likely, sadly, both VRD cars could be in the same spot on the outside of turn number 8. They'll have the tow hook ready here to get that car up in the air. To get the hook on, they'll raise it up. They'll lock down the front of the car to both sides of the tow truck so you're not going to get any rotation. Pabst Racing 1-2. G3 Argyros and Colin Aiken coming through the chaos of the start through the festival chicane. Cardenas third, Cameron fourth. Scorpione took a wild ride off in turn 11. Not able to get back on the racetrack. Had to go driver's left off the escape route to come back on the racetrack at the drag strip area, our pre-grid for the drivers here in USF Pro. Waited for the entire field to go by to come on cleanly, safely. He got sent back out by the series steward at the end of pit lane. Tail the field. Fought himself back forward. At one point was 10th, then 9th. Now he finds himself in 5th with fast lap of the race. I believe that's 17 points for P5. 17 points. Add it, and it can add in the bonus point for fast lap. Leonardo Scorpione, talk about stopping the bleeding. What could have been a horrible run. Instead, he's going to get a big jump in terms of points on Jack Jeffers. And Argyros the same. Is going to be able to close up a bit here. So a shakeup. And we'll do it again tomorrow, as we know. We're coming back to green flag racing here, I believe. Awesome job for the AMR safety team. Pace car jumping out there big time. Green flag for USF 2000 tomorrow at 12:50. For the pro cars at 2:30. So 2 more races tomorrow in amongst IndyCar qualifying. Back to green flag racing. 5 laps to go. 25 laps going in the books this time by. Here we go. Aiken's right there. Cardenas as well. Cardenas is trying to go for his first race win. He's going to try to see if he can't get around the outside. He's got him. Is he going to hold the spot? No, he's going to check up big time. That's going to allow Cameron to come around the outside to third. Christian Cameron pouncing on Cardenas as he's got to check up. Almost had the pass done on the outside to the inside on Aiken, but not quite enough. Christian Cameron goes to P3. Aiken back now into second. Holds the spot. Cardenas to a fourth. I like that he gave it a shot. Sent it down the inside. Here comes the Scorpione. Contact! The two of those drivers together. Cardenas is off. Cardenas off on the outside of turn number 7. Contact between he and a Scorpione rather. As a Scorpione dove to the inside. Is there damage to the Scorpione's car? Here comes Golan trying to go around. More damage. Oh, there goes another driver around there. Full course yellow again. Full course yellow. And that's got to end this one here. I don't know if they're going to be able to clean this up in time. Oh, the drivers have done such a good job through that one. But not in turn number 7. A Scorpione sent it to the inside. The contact there on the exit of the corner as they were side by side. And then trouble here as well for Thomas Schrag potentially as they come back around, trying to figure out who that was. My goodness, the battle further back. Man, oh man, like I said, race control is going to have work to do looking at video tonight. This one is far from official. So Cardenas off over in turn number 7 after contact with a Scorpione. Not sure what happened with Schrag there. Hopefully we can get a chance to look at at least the replays there because the cameras were on. We were able to see it, but my goodness. Scorpione sent it up the inside. They were kind of side by side. And you always wonder what kind of contact you're going to see. Horrible for Cardenas. A couple of drivers have had great runs, both Jack Jeffers and Andres Cardenas with some really good momentum here midway through the season, having rough runs in the opening race here at Portland, round number 11 of the series. 18 races in total, so a long way to go to Road America. So, again, I talked about the fact that Race Control are doing the best they can with the video that's available to them in Race Control, the replays they can have to potentially look at something to call. If they can make a call for incident responsibility, they'll do that during the race and potentially issue a drive-through penalty. Otherwise, they just mark it down and say, listen, we're going to video. Because at the end of the race, they're able to look at the in-car video. So we're going to have a look at what happened.